Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on what time you're watching this. This is a timeless video, and it is for the collective of the time. Right now, it is November 4th, 2024, and it seems like we have a lot going on in this energy, in this space. From what I can tell so far, a lot of people are in need. And when I say in need, I mean in need of nourishment, in need of cleansing, in need of clearing. And so the reason why I'm making this video is to kind of clarify what we're needing, what we're seeing, what we're feeling. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle a deck. And this is my newest deck. It's kind of a little cheater deck in a way. It just helps me memorize all the cards and their meanings. But let's see what happens. Let's see what's going on. So it seems like you have the wands going on. A little bit of wand action. And it looks like it's the 9 of Wands. So it's kind of like we're going into this energy of burnout, really, because you're sitting there and you're working so hard, but nothing's coming to fruition. But it seems like the reason why it's not coming to fruition is because you have the 5 of Wands as well. And the 5 of Wands kind of shows that there's a little bit of setbacks, there's some obstacles. I mean, they're not huge obstacles, but it's change, it's challenges, it's rebuilding, and that's something that you're not comfortable with. That's why you have all these setbacks. That's why you're having all these withdrawals when it comes to those two cards. And then this next one is you have the 8 of Swords. The 8 of Swords is you're trying to free yourself from these obstacles. You're trying to kind of get away from what was going on in your subconscious. Right now, what I'm seeing is this is your subconscious. Your subconsciously, you're trying to give up all the negative things that are going on in your life. You're trying to move past them in a sense, but you are tying up yourself in a way because you're being very rigid, you're being very hard on yourself, and it's leading to this burnout of why am I even working on myself? What is the point? Because you're wanting to get this freedom with the 8 of Cards, you're wanting to take control, you're wanting to fight for what's going on in your life, but then you're starting to have these mental setbacks, and it's hard because you're doing it to yourself, and it's stuff. You're not doing it on purpose. It's just more like it's just happening. It's kind of like you're leading yourself to your own misery. Because then you have the Four of Coins, the Magician, the 8 of Cups, and okay. I don't even know if that one was meant to be reversed or not. Oh, another one there. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles. So now, in your conscious mind, you have the 4 of Pentacles, the Magician, the 8 of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles. And so with the 4 of Pentacles, you kind of are in this place of stagnancy. It shows that you need to get rid of what you're holding on to materialistically. It shows that you need to kind of move on from what's holding you back. With the 4 of Pentacles, it's showing that you're trying to improve. That is what your mindset is to improve yourself, to improve your worth. But you have the Magician next. The Magician is upright, and the Magician shows that you can alchemically change what is going on in your physical reality. But then you have the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups is showing you that you're kind of at this place of feeling like something's missing. You're walking right past the point. And so what I'm saying is that you're holding on to these material items that you have the power to change. You have the power to grow from. Because your subconscious is sitting there and it's negative. It's full of negative energy because why? Because you don't know, as of right now, you're holding yourself back from magically changing the way you feel about your life because you're walking right past the point. Whatever the point may be in your life, whether it be financial, whether it be physical, whether it be metaphysical, whether it be you on your spiritual journey and you're trying to do your shadow work, you have the magic inside of you. You have the alchemy inside of you to change what's going on in your life. And that's why the Queen of Pentacles comes in. Because the Queen of Pentacles is showing you that the Queen of Pentacles is showing you that in addition to the support and wisdom that you have, it's bringing positivity to the situation. So, even though you're walking right past the point, even though your subconscious mind is quite a mess right now, the Queen of Coins is here to remind you that everything will work out in the end. Because if you care for your body, you care for what's going on for you, you take care of the physical realm that you live in, not just the ethereal, but the physical realm that you live in, it'll enhance the ethereal realm that you also strive to be in. Because when you stay in your mental state for so long, you tend to feel this burnout and fatigue. I keep saying that because that's just the word that keeps popping out in my head is burnout, 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 burnout. You're in burnout central because you're trying so hard to get out of this rut that you're in, but you're holding on to things you don't need. You can change them, but don't walk past the point. What is the point that you're trying to change in your life? What is that one thing that you're stuck on? Because the Queen of Pentacles is here to remind you that you can change these things. There's no issue in that. You can change what you have because you're motivated to. Whether you see that or not in the cards, you're motivated for the change. You just don't know how to change it yet because you're so caught up in the moment. You're so caught up in your own mind. You're losing track of time. It's like this. The saying I'm getting is you can shit in one hand and you can want in the other. And what that basically means is you see which one fills up first, your wants or your needs. And so right now what you need is you need to take care of yourself. You need to work on the subconscious mind. Because when you're sitting there alone and you're letting it eat away at you, you're not taking care of the physical realm that you live in. And when that physical realm becomes a weight that is too heavy to bear on your own, it doesn't make you stronger. It makes you weaker. Because when you don't feel comfortable in the space that you live in, you can't enjoy what's going on. You can't enjoy the life that you're living. And that's what makes it tough, is because when you're subconsciously trying to change everything about your life, you're trying to heal trauma, generational trauma, you're trying to break bonds and curses that you've never had to deal with before. Your family and your lineage has never had to deal with before. It's tough because you have nobody to turn to. You have nobody who can sit there and be an open ear and listen to you, because they all think it's nonsense. They all think that it's something that you're creating. They think that you're looking to be the problem, and you're not. You're just trying to physically change your reality. So now is the time to kind of invoke your own magic, to invoke your own sense of change. Because nobody's going to help you. At the end of the day, you can only take care of what you are going through. Only you can take care of you, in a sense. And so, with that being said, who else is going to take charge of what you're going through? Who else is going to be the one to rock the boat, essentially? But the next card I pulled is the wheel. And the wheel is showing us that no matter what you're going through, no matter how you feel, you may suffer something. You may suffer some bad luck. You may run into some troubling times. Because right now, everybody's struggling. I mean, with the way the world is going right now, especially here in America, if you're watching this from a different country, especially with the way the economy is going in America, it's tough out there. It's tough to survive. And so the benefits of the upright wheel will come. It just takes a little bit longer. So you have to work a little bit harder to get the things that you want, which is why you have to focus and change your material realm. You see what I'm saying? Your subconscious is leading into your physical, and your physical reality is manifesting the path that you're taking. So you have the reversed wheel. With the reversed wheel, it's going to tell you that you have great things upon you. You have great things that are coming to you, but you have to be able to take the good with the bad. And right now, you're sitting in the bad. You're not feeling great. You're not doing anything to make it better because you're burnt out. And it's okay to be burnt out. Everybody gets burnt out. I mean, I even get burnt out. But you have to learn how to change it, because then you have the Hermit reverse. And with the Wheel of Fortune, you just have to surrender to your fate. If your fate is that, you're going to lose your car, or if the fate is that, you have to break up with your boyfriend, accept that, because the change is going to make it better for you. Because then you won't be as burnt out, and you'll be able to alchemically change your surroundings, because you have that guidance of the Queen of Pentacles. And so now you have the Hermit. And the Hermit's going to tell you that you're feeling alone right now. You're feeling like you have to go into this solace. You have to be by yourself. And that's okay. A lot of people see the Hermit reversed and they're like, oh man, I'm stuck to myself. I can't get out of this. But really, it's a good time for you to be alone. Because next you have the King of Pentacles. And the King of Pentacles is telling you that somebody is trying to get in the way of your happiness. So when you take in the Hermit and you kind of move in silence, you don't necessarily have to talk about what's going on. You want to, you feel like you really need to, but it's not so much the physical that you're having to change, it's your subconscious. So you have to withdraw into yourself, because the King of Pentacles is somebody who's going to try to deceive you. Since it's reversed, the King of Pentacles has a lot of power, has a lot of strength, it's a lot of masculine energy. And so with this masculine energy, they're going to try to dominate you. They're going to try to be domineering. So that's why you have to stay silent with the Hermit. Even though you want to be able to talk and to move things around, you have to make the moves subconsciously. You have to make the moves by yourself. And that, it's not easy. But with the Wheel of Fortune that was pulled, you have to surrender to that fate that you have to do this on your own. Because the next card you have is the Nine of Cups. And with the Nine of Cups, it shows that you're fruitful, you're bountiful. It's kind of the wish card. It's your dream come true. Whatever you want, you may have. But you have to, again, go through the trials and tribulations of life in order to have these things. But you always got to remember, the Queen of Cups is on, the Queen of Pentacles is on your side. She's going to be there to guide you. The Magician is going to help you change your physical reality through your subconscious because you're burnt out. And so the time of waiting will eventually be over. The time of waiting will eventually come to an end. Because throughout all this learning that you're doing, throughout all these messages that you're receiving, throughout all these times that you're physically and mentally and emotionally having to go through turmoil, you will find the path that you need. Because the 9 favors good health. The 9 favors the dissolvement of tension. The 9 favors the appreciation of joy. And also 9 is the number before 10, right? Which is, 10 is the ending of a cycle. So you're about to end this cycle of, it's almost like a misery. Because then you also have the 8 of Pentacles right alongside it. And the 8 of Pentacles is letting you know that you're working on things. You're working and you're making yourself better. Your efforts are not going unwatched. Your efforts are not going unseen. And so the message that I have today for you is that when you work on your subconscious, you work on the mind, you work on your mind's eye, you will be able to change your physical reality. You'll be able to change the course of how you live your life, the way you want to live your life. You see what I'm saying? Because as of right now, if we're looking at you in the current state that you're in, you're not feeling the best. You're feeling sad, you're feeling despair, you're feeling depression, you're feeling anxiety, because there's so many things that you want to change, there's so many things that you want to do, and you just don't know how to do them yet. The key word is yet, because you are constantly learning these lessons and you're having to do them on your own, which at times is the worst feeling in the world. Because at times you want to sit there and you want to confide in somebody. You want to sit there and spill your guts to somebody about how you're going through all this trauma, and you want their advice. But like I said, with the King of Pentacles in reverse, somebody's going to try and take advantage of that. They're going to take advantage of you in your most vulnerable state. And so you have to work on these, because the nine of Cups and the 8 of Pentacles are all about work. You have the magic to do it. You're walking past the point right now because you don't want to see it. You don't want to even have to deal with it. You don't want to do it. But your work will not go unnoticed. You got this. You just have to put forth the effort energetically, mentally, and then the physical reality will come. And so I decided to pull an oracle card to leave off on a note, to kind of see what this oracle is going to let us know for the day. And this is called the Tree Keeper's Oracle. And the Tree Keeper's Oracle is essentially a book, or it's not a book, it's a deck that kind of helps bring me peace when I'm in times of need. The Keeper of Follow Through is the 44th card. And then you have also, I didn't mention, but you have 888 in the cards. You have, you have the 8 of Swords, the 8 of Pentacles, and the 8 of Cups. And 888 essentially represents work. It represents change. Because what goes around comes around, and you have to work on that. You have to work on what you dish out, because you have to, this is the message I'm getting. You have to fix your tongue. You have to fix your mouth. Because the words that you say, whether they be to yourself or to somebody else, have a change in the way you live your life. because words have power. And so if you learn to fix the way you talk about yourself, instead of saying I can't, you start saying I can, or I will, or I am. Instead of saying I won't, you start saying I will, I can, I want to. Because you have the keeper of follow through and you have the keeper of wonder. And so for these, oh, I'm so sorry. For these, I'm going to read from the book. And so the keeper of follow through, it says, it's time to follow through. No amount of dreaming, intending, or progress making can bring a goal to its fulfillment. You must honor your promises by following through with the actions every step to the end. Are you mired in details? Are you experiencing inertia because you've abandoned the hard work? This isn't a moment about lack of intention or imagination. You've made it through those long hallways of creativity. These last steps are all about the push. There's a lot of sweat equity required to get a new lifestyle safely delivered into the world. Honor your commitments, especially those you've made to yourself. Review them, edit them. If they no longer feel compelling to you, keep the ones that feel radiant. Follow through all the way to the end. That's the squeal of new life will be worth the push. So basically that's what I'm saying, is that if you do the work, if you take the time to look yourself in the mirror and say, I want this change. I am going to make this change. Not even that you want it. I am going to make this change. You put that I am statement in there. Things will change. You have to push through all the negativity that's being, number one, thrown your way and cast your way. But also, number two, the negativity you put towards yourself. Because we're all human. We know that. Our higher selves know that. Our guardian angels, the protective spirits we have, they all know that we're human. And they all know that we are harsh on ourselves. But that's why we have this push happening. Because our higher selves are telling us, and our spirit guides and our spirit team are telling us, we got your back. But we can't do everything for you. You also have to put in that effort. Because then you have the keeper of wonder, which is the number 42. And if you see that, it's 444. And so the keeper of wonder says, the tree keepers view enchantment as a necessary element. They pursued it, like sunlight, rain. Now is the time to make a list of all the enchants Now is the time to make a list of all that enchants you. Pursue wonder like a necessity. Document it. Put practical concerns to one side and allow yourself to marvel. Hang with the hummingbirds. Talk with the bees. The wide world is a never-ending story full of surprises and splendors. Observe the many tiny miracles around you. You cannot live robustly by logic alone. Take some time to open your heart wide to receive the blessings both tiny and great. Then list them, nothing all the way you are surprised or astonished. As the famous storyteller once said, those who don't believe in magic will never find it. Which is why you have the magician. The magician is going to help you find the small, tiny marvels in your life. Because as you've noticed throughout this reading, you've had negative, but in between the negative, you've had the positive. Like the Queen of Cups. You had the Hermit. The Hermit is normally seen as a negative card, but in this case, it's a positive card because it's telling you in order to help yourself, you have to care for yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to marvel in that, because then you also have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is plentiful. It's bountiful. You're sitting there with all the cups that are full. You'll never feel empty, because then you also have the Eight of Pentacles, because you've worked so hard for all these things. So in conclusion, the keeper of follow through and the keeper of wonder remind you that everything you do does not go unnoticed. Even if it's going unnoticed by the physical realm of humanity and people, it is not going unnoticed by your spirit guides, by your team. And so what I say to that is to continue to keep pushing forward, to continue to keep working on yourself, continue to keep looking inwards and seeing what you need and what doesn't work for you and get rid of all the stagnant energy. Get rid of all the malicious intent that people are throwing your way. Get rid of all the things that you do not need physically, mentally, emotionally, materially. Sometimes just that clutter will make you feel as though you cannot do anything. It makes you feel that burnout. I personally had just cleaned my whole garage, cleaned my whole house, freed it of clutter because I could not sit here and change my mindset until the house was clean. Because once I cleaned my home started to change the way I physically thought about my reality every day. And so what I say to you is live and let live. Let the negative happen, change it, and let the positive flow into your life. And I pray and I hope that with all of my heart, this reading helps you and it reaches the audience that it needs. I pray that you have a great day, a great night, and a good morning. Thank you for all that have watched. Bye-bye.